Joining us now to talk about all the big moves is George Bousis. He is the CEO of Raise. George, it's great to have you.
Thanks so much for having me. Good morning.
And congratulations on the $63 million raise. How is this funding going to accelerate your company's vision for transforming the gift card industry?
So it really comes down to the investment that we're making in the space. You know, the gift card industry hasn't evolved much over the last several decades. And this investment really is going to go towards upgrading, if you may, the industry. And, you know, the key struggle that we see in the gift card space today is there's really a lack of standardization. There's been a lack of investment in technology, and really retailers and consumers have suffered because of that. And so what we're doing is really deploying this money into investing in the future, into a new technology that we've created called smart cards. These are essentially fully programmable gift cards that give retailers more control and ultimately solve a lot of the technological limitations that exist in the space.
And why has innovation in the gift card space lagged for so long, do you think? I know you mentioned the lack of, AI and technology, but what makes now the right time for this disruption?
You know, it's a great question. I think that's the trillion-dollar question in the gift card space. It really comes down to the fact that the incumbents to date have really had no incentive to solve this issue. Last year, the gift card space nearly generated $1 trillion of gift card sales. And so, as you can imagine, a lot of the incumbents, their business is going to grow 10 or 15% every year if they do nothing, which is why these systems are extremely outdated. There's been no technology, no innovation, or no one to really challenge a status quo in the space. And so, we think that ends now. We think ultimately the brands are suffering, customers are suffering, and this new technology is meant to bridge that gap and ultimately bring retailers closer to their customers and allow them to use these new technologies to build a closer relationship with that customer and bring them as close to them as possible.
And we've seen a huge uptick in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. How has specifically blockchain technology enhanced the way consumers and brands interact with gift cards?
So it really comes down to leveraging the technology to do things that you couldn't do in the past. And so today we see a huge issue with reporting, with attribution. This all comes down to how we can use technologies like blockchains to get closer to the customer. And so we think over time, this is going to help eliminate fraud. It's going to help eliminate things like double spending or issues that retailers have ran into around regulatory hurdles as law changes around standardization and whatnot. And so, really it comes down to leveraging these tools to do things that they didn't have before. So an example of that is programmability of loyalty programs. And so I like to use this example a lot. Here in Miami, where I'm at, imagine if it was raining in Miami and programmatically AMC Theaters or one of the other major theater companies could discount their cards or drive promotions to get folks in the theater. Their fixed costs are the same. They're still making popcorn. They're still running the movies. But imagine if, based on weather patterns, you could discount the tickets by 50% to drive people into the theater locally here in Miami. So that's the kind of stuff that we're doing at a much broader and larger scale with a lot of the retail partners that we have.
Mm-hmm. And how will this shift impact retailers and consumers in terms of security, usability, and rewards?
Yeah, ultimately, I think it comes down to security and safety, and this should drive costs down. I know inflation has been a hot topic over the last couple of years, and that's one of the things we're really trying to tackle, which ultimately, if we can bring down the cost of issuing these cards for retailers, ultimately that should generate net new savings for consumers. And so we think this technology really evens a playing field. That's what really blockchains and cryptocurrencies are meant to do. It's meant to allow for greater participation at a fraction of the price by really focusing on enhancing security and privacy and helping this technology go mainstream.
Now, where do you see your company going next over the next 3 to 5 years?
Sure. I mean, Over the next 3 to 5 years, I mean, our real focus here is to partner with as many retailers as we can. We've founded a non-for-profit called the Retail Alliance, which really is this consortium we've put together of brands and retailers that are part of this, of really investing in the future and building the future together, which is a commitment in innovation, a commitment of focusing on new technologies. And so success for us over the next 3 to 5 years is really building something better that helps our customers' money go further, which ultimately is what Raise is all about, while also solving a really big problem that exists today for all of our brand partners.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. George Bousis, he is the CEO at Raise. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.